Hi everybody and welcome back to the Upside Down. This is a special video. It's called the Top 10 Tag. And people in the film community on YouTube are just tagging other creators and giving them, a task, a video to make. Obviously you do not have to do this, so I'm going to tag 5 people at the end. You don't have to do this. This is all just for fun. But I was tagged by GeekyHiJynx Reviews, a great creator on this space. Definitely go check out his YouTube channel. I will have a link to GeekyHiJynx down below. So let me get started. So what we do here is I'm going to, from 10 genres, pick my favorite film from each. This was tough to do for some of it. Let's see how this goes. The first genre on the list is Westerns. I'm not really into Westerns. This was hard to pick a favorite because I really haven't seen much. There are a couple of Westerns on my list to watch, but not really my kind of genre. But then I remembered this one, and it's almost kind of by default that it's my favorite Western because it's really one of the only ones I've seen. But honestly, it is also a good movie, and that is Django Unchained. I have not watched Django Unchained in a while. I do kind of want to revisit it. I enjoy the performances here. I enjoy the story. It is a longer movie, but as far as I remember, I really wasn't too bored throughout it. I think it's great, and obviously Quentin Tarantino will go down as one of the best directors. The next genre up is romance. I just reviewed this trilogy back in February, my first time watching it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And this, I had to pick one of the trilogy because you have to pick one film, and that is the original, the first one, Before Sunrise. I absolutely enjoyed this film just greatly, to be honest. Yes, I could see people thinking it's boring. I mean, they're just walking around a town talking, but it's so interesting. These two, originally strangers are just getting to know each other, getting to know each other's flaws, what each other's passions are, each other's pasts, each other's fears. They're just getting to know each other. I mean, it's mostly just talking. But I was so enthralled by this. I think that Ethan Hawke and Julie Duffy do an amazing job, and they have amazing chemistry. If you have not seen the Before trilogy, definitely go check it out. Next up on the list is animation. Animation. So this is one that I am just so nostalgic for. It's a great movie by one of the greatest animation studios. I love this film, and that is Finding Nemo. This is my favorite Pixar movie. It's obviously my favorite animation. I love the characters. I love the story. It's funny. It's heartfelt. I absolutely love Bruce, by the way. I love sharks. Maybe this was the start of my love for shark movies, even the bad shark movies. I just put that in quotes. I know they're bad, but I still like them, But this was such a very sweet story. Pixar's just amazing at that. But yeah, Bruce is probably my favorite character. It's just, I love even the bad ones, like even Sharknado. Some of the Sharknadoes I even liked. With that said, that brings me to the next genre, which is sci-fi. And of course, it's Sharknado. The first Sharknado is such a amazing feat in cinema. Just kidding, just kidding. My real pick for my favorite film in the sci-fi genre is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Nope, it's Avatar. James Cameron's great, fantastic, beautifully looking movie. I know that there's people that are torn in this one. They thought it was overrated, which I can see. I know that it looked amazing in 3D when it first released. I have not, unfortunately, seen it. I just watched it for the first time, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say, and it just showed up on my timeline recently, actually, on Facebook. But I absolutely loved this story. I think I watched one of the longer cuts, I think, and I was just into it the whole time. Such beautiful cinematography. I know a lot of it's CGI, but such beautiful world, beautiful creatures. I absolutely adore this film. And I hope one day that I can see it. If it comes to theaters for 3D, I'm going to go see it in 3D. Usually I'm not a 3D kind of person, at all. I've barely really seen anything in 3D. I've seen a few. But this is one that I would love to go watch in 3D. Cannot wait for the sequels, even though at the same time, it's like they're taking so long and he's focusing so much on so many sequels. I kind of want James Cameron to make other movies because I think he's a really good filmmaker. But I'm down for it. I love the world in Disney World. The Pandora, area in Animal Kingdom is just very great. The ride is spectacular. Definitely go check that out if you haven't. and you can. Next genre is drama. Drama. Alright, I think that's a character from Happy Endings, I want to say. Happy Endings is a great show, just a side note. It's such an underrated sitcom, go check it out. Next genre is drama, and that movie is The Shawshank Redemption. This one was one I think I just watched for the first time last year, I want to say. And I was into this movie the whole time. It was just executed so well. I loved the story. The characters were great here. The acting was all spectacular. I absolutely loved the ending. This was such a good movie. I definitely want to revisit it again already. Next up is comedy. One of my favorite genres, actually. So what is my favorite comedy movie? Sharknado. No. So what is my favorite comedy movie? And that's 21 Jump Street. I think this is one nobody had that high expectations for. I mean, it's just a reboot of the show, and the show is a totally different genre. As far as I know, at least I haven't really watched the show. But this surprised the heck out of me. This is so funny. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum are a magnificent duo. And we really didn't know much about Channing Tatum before this, other than, I know he was in like Step Up, right? And some romantic comedies and stuff like that. And he had the Magic Mike films, which I think might have been after this. I'm not sure. But anyway, we know him from that. But this showed that he has great comedic chops. And him and Jonah Hill play very well off each other. This movie is just so funny. Every time I rewatch it, I'm laughing at the same stuff over and over again. I absolutely love it. Such great comedy, great comedic presences by presences. Is it presences? Okay. Such great comedic presences by both these actors, and then a bunch of supporting characters. Dave Franco's hilarious. Brie Larson's pretty good in this. And Rob Riggle is really funny in this. I enjoyed this film, one of my favorite comedies. If you have not seen this yet, go check it out. And to me, this is one of the rare occurrences where a comedy sequel is just as good as the original, and I would not even be mad at you if you said it was better than this one. I love 22 Jump Street as well, but 21 Jump Street takes the cake for me. Next genre is action. No, that's not how you punch. Okay. Next genre is action, and that movie is Inception. I absolutely love this movie. I watched it when it first came out on DVD. I didn't see it in theaters. I watched it kind of around when it came out on DVD, and I liked it. I didn't get it, which I think a lot of people are on the same boat with that. They might even be on the same boat still after a few rewatches. But then I rewatched it last year, I believe, and I loved it. I was having so much fun with this movie. It's such a great premise, such a original premise. Christopher Nolan is just a masterclass filmmaker, and over this last year, because I watched even more other Nolan films for the first time or again, he's become one of my favorite directors. He is so good. And of course, Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This cast is just amazing. They really put this, they put this plot to good use. I think this is such an amazing feat in filmmaking. Next up is the horror genre. I was trying to be scared. Or like a ghost or something. I don't know what that was. Next up is the horror genre. I love horror. When I started this channel, October was, I think, one of the first full months. I want to say it was the first full month of my channel, and it's where I had the most fun, to be honest. And some of the most fun, I will say. I have had so much fun since then. I love this channel. But I had so much fun dressing up and doing skits, and my Halloween episode, my Halloween video is still one of my favorite videos because I had so much fun doing it. And I love Halloween. I love October. I love horror movies. I'm a huge scaredy cat, but I love horror movies. What is number one, though? What is my favorite horror movie of all time? What's my favorite scary movie? What is my favorite scary movie? That is Scream, the original Scream, starring Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette by the amazingly talented Wes Craven. This, reignited the spark for the slasher genre. Absolutely amazing filmmaking, I think, at least. I love it. It's such a great whodunit, even in horror, suspense, everything. And not only that, but it is paying tribute to the genre of slasher horror films, but it's also making fun of the tropes used. I always love some good meta humor, some good trope parodying. I always love when things parody horror or anything. I always love a good parody, a good meta humorous kind of movie show, and this delivers on that. Absolutely excellent casting, excellent writing, excellent directing, and excellent horror. This was not only my favorite, it's not only my favorite, but it's, I think, my first horror movie that I've seen, and it's not extraordinarily scary, but it's my first horror movie that I've seen, I believe. And I actually like all of them, so 3 is my least favorite, but I love 1, 2, and 4. And I like 3 a lot, do not get me wrong, but it's my least favorite. But this is such a great movie. I'm excited for the new one coming out next year. I will probably do a review on all 4, maybe a ranking or something closer to that release date. So definitely look forward to that. The next genre should be no, surprise, is one of my favorite genres, and that's the comic book genre. But what's my favorite? What is my favorite comic book movie? Well, you've seen Halle Berry in X-Men, but you have not seen her until you've seen her in Catwoman. My favorite comic book movie of all time is Catwoman, and I don't have anything for Catwoman. I don't. That's not my favorite movie here. Let's get the time stone out of rewind time. My favorite horror movie. Too far. Fast forward a little. Can we fast forward? My favorite comic book movie of all time. This was a tough one, but I'd have to say Avengers Endgame. I love this movie. It's one of the best, if not the best, theater experiences ever. All 6 times I saw it in theaters. I love it. Does not feel like 3 hours to me. It goes by in a snap. No pun intended, except yes, it is intended. But I just love it. It's a culmination of 10 plus years of the MCU with such amazing characters, such amazing movies, most of them. And I just love the action. That final action scene is just breathtaking and amazing every time I watch it. You get cheers, when Cap grabs the shield and then also has Mjolnir. It's just so good. I love it. Avengers Assemble on your left. This is such an amazing comic book movie. And I love Avatar, as you saw. I really want this one to take back the throne of the top of the box office. But really, I don't care either way right now because it's Disney. They're on top. I love Disney. Love Marvel. I love Avatar. But this is my favorite comic book movie. It was so hard to pick, though. Well, no, sorry. It wasn't really hard to pick. Kind of. There's a few others. I love Spider-Man 2. I love Infinity War, Justice League, the Zack Snyder's one. But this is the winner. So Avengers Endgame wins for me. Okay, so the last genre, but certainly not least, is the adventure genre. All these genres can really encapsulate a bunch of other genres. They can include that as a subgenre. They can include that as a main genre. That happens. Obviously, a lot of the movies that I just said could be in multiple genres. That even makes, this list harder to come up with. But I was lucky enough to be able to say my favorite movie of all time is also my favorite adventure movie. And that is Jurassic Park. My favorite film from the adventure genre, and in general, is Jurassic Park. I love this movie, and it means something even more special to me because it came out the year I was born, and it just happened to be my favorite movie, so I thought that was really cool. 1993, I absolutely love it. It's just amazing. Like, I feel the amazement that the characters feel when you see dinosaurs for the first time. It's so, wondrous. Cool. Steven Spielberg is one of my favorite directors. I just love the cast. I love these dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. They're just, it's an amazing sight to behold, and I loved that they used a lot of practical effects for this one. The dinosaurs, they're animatronics. They look amazing. The story is great. It's just a masterpiece to me. Yeah, that's all I can say, right now about this movie. I think when the last Jurassic World comes out, Jurassic World Dominion, or supposedly, I don't know if it's the last, I wouldn't mind if it's the last. I do like the films, some of them for the most part, but none of the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movies to me come close to Jurassic Park, the original. Yeah, so there's my list. There's my top 10 tag. 10 genres, my favorite from each genre. I hope you guys liked my list. What's your list? Let me know down in the comments below. And if I don't tag you, I'm picking 5 people. Don't feel bad. I love so much content on this YouTube space. This film community is just amazing. Some of you have already done it. Some of you have been tagged to do it. So I couldn't retag. I didn't want to, spam you with this. People that I would have picked already did it or already were tagged. So anyway, but I do have 5 people that I want to pick. Do not feel that you have to do this. This is just for fun. Just, a fun thing to do within the amazing movie community on YouTube. My first tag is Cody from the Brockopp Side. Then we have Eric Thorpe. And then we have Brian, the Dragon movie guy. Then we have Shashank Vchari. And last but not least, Rob Kristjansson. Again, don't feel like you have to do it. It'll be fun though. I'm looking forward to seeing your list if you do it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of these, more people that I've seen get tagged but haven't done it yet. I cannot wait. I've loved the ones that I've seen so far. Again, just, check those channels out. Comment down below. Give me your lists. What's your favorite film from each of these genres? Like this video, share the video, comment, hit that notification bell, subscribe, and come to the Upside Dan. Dude, if you don't stay up, you're not going to be my favorite movie anymore if you don't stay up. You are not going to be my favorite comedy anymore if you do not stay... Alright, where's the other comedies?